It's also the colors, the texture, the soundtrack, the music. That I mean, I'm 45. I'm an old guy, so I was thinking of being a child and seeing these images. I thought like, oh man, this is going back to my childhood.
Well, first of all, I watched the movie this afternoon. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know because again, this is a history that I don't really follow with. So, how much did you know about the championship from '83 before you got the role?
Oh, just a little bit. I'd been as an act. I'd been sponsored by Audi for a long time. Now I'm with Cupra, Spanish brand, but with Audi, I was like over 10 years, maybe 15 years. So it's one of their iconic cars. And the Quattro four-wheel drive technology was a revolution, and they were celebrating that. So I knew a little bit through Audi. I knew a little bit of that history. When I was a child, it was a bit more Formula One that fascinated me, but also rally on my Spanish side of the family. My uncles and cousins really enjoyed it. So I remember sitting there on a couch in Spain watching these races, and I remember how thrilled and shocked I was when I saw how these cars were flying through villages and towns, and people were standing so close. And I thought, like, what is this? And so but then these projects, Rush and Race for Glory, just came to me. It wasn't something that I was proactively looking for or searching. So and in both cases, I was just very intrigued by the script. I mean, Rush was a no-brainer for me. I said immediately, I need to play this part, and it was one of the best experiences I ever had. And because of that, my first instinct was a no when Ricardo approached me. But he's a dear friend of mine, and he's Italian, and you see how persistent he is in the film. So you can imagine that he didn't accept my no, because I said, Ricardo, you are my friend, but I don't want to do another race film. And he said, no, 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 but you're not playing the driver. There's a sidekick role. We are always making fun of each other in real life because you're German, I'm Italian, we're so different. We can bring that to another level if you do this film. And then I said, yeah, okay, which part? The Audi manager. And then I was thinking of my time with Audi. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna have a look. And man, I loved the script, and I realized it's actually really a different game. It's a different world. Rally has nothing to do with Formula One. So, and when I was shooting it in Italy, I never thought of Rush. To be honest, I didn't have the feeling, oh, I'm doing it again. I'm doing the same thing all over again, and it's just I keep repeating myself, and this will be the same kind of movie. It isn't. It really isn't. And I'm very happy with the result because they captured the '80s so well. It's the racing, which is always in sports film, as you know, it's always the challenge. How do you translate it to the cinema, to the screen, so that people don't think at the end, oh, I would rather watch a tennis match, or I would rather watch a race than watching this film. This is very difficult to achieve that, and the Italians have done it brilliantly because it's you can tell that they're real rally drivers, and they pushed it to the limit because I was there, and it was crazy. How well they shot these racing scenes. There's a lot of authenticity to it, but it's also the colors, the texture, the soundtrack, the music. That I mean, I'm 45. I'm an old guy, so I was thinking of being a child and seeing these images. I thought like, oh man, this is going back to my childhood.
I imagine that, playing, it's one thing to play a fictional character, but then playing someone who is a real figure in real life is a whole different game. How do you prepare for something like that as an actor? Like, did you meet the real Roland? Like, did you do any research, or like, how do you get ready for someone who is already real, who's probably, has been out of history for a long time?
It always depends on the size of the role, of what is being asked from you. It depends on how the approach of the makers is, what they want you to do, also the director, the producers, etc. When I was offered Rush, I always love to be outside my comfort zone. The moment when you got a part and you think like, yes, and you go like, shit, how am I going to play this? How am I going to do this? And in a case of Rush, I knew that this film was on my and Chris Hemsworth's shoulders because it's about us. So I insisted on meeting Nikki because I had read different books, I had watched documentaries and interviews and all that. I mean, I said like, it won't work if I don't meet and spend as much time as I possibly can with Niki Lauda. In this case, a part is much, much, much smaller. Also, the Italians said, we want you to be free. And they did not have contact with the actual people. I think Volker also didn't have contact with Walter Röhrl. And I think they did it deliberately to be as free and unrestrained and as possible, which is fair enough. Because I thought like, if I meet Gumpert for real, and he's the nicest guy, and I know that in the film, I have to be the annoying German competitor, you know, that sometimes can become a little burden. It can limit you. So in that case, I accepted that the Italians said, like, create really your own Gumpert. Still, I watched, interviews and I read about him. So I knew who he was and is. I would be happy to meet him one day, because after I'd finished the film, one in his team had contacted me, had tried to contact me, but then I was deep into something else and it was too late. So now I hope that he will watch the film one day and hopefully like what I did. But yeah, so it was a different approach this time around. And to me, it's nice to see that I've done 2 race films and that's it. I will never do another one.
Never say never. Never say never. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, who knows? But I guess it will be my last one. And I'm very happy to see these 2 films that are quite different. So that's nice.
Well, I know I got to wrap soon, so I wanted to ask you what's coming up for you. I don't know if you can tell I'm a big comic book fan. So, and I love you as Baron Zemo in the MC. Yeah,
I see Sebastian Stan there? No, what do I see there?
That's Tom Welling. He played Superman in Smallville.
Oh, yeah, because it's so far in the distance and my eyes.
I know.
Back.
Yeah, I know. There's it's a lot of DC. I'm sorry, I should have had a more Marvel presence.
Yes, I'm shocked.
Yeah, I apologize. Next time we talk, I will fix it. But
you have to rearrange your background.
Yeah, a lot of people obviously want to know if are you coming back? Do you feel your story is wrapped up in the MCU, or is there more Baron coming? Do you think? There's.
I don't know. I mean. They haven't killed me yet.
They haven't killed me yet.
I think, I don't know. And now I'm doing a series which is called The Franchise. But if there are people who have a lot of sense of humor, then it's Marvel and it's Kevin Feige. So, but I'm very happy to shoot something about the franchise world, and with a comical approach, So I'm doing The Franchise with Sam Mendes once that I'm finished here in Australia. I guess it was nice with that Zemo guy because he was so surprising and different. Also, that the second time around, I was invited to explore the sense of humor in that character, which I relished and enjoyed so much. So again, it was a surprise. I was invited to surprise the people. So I guess that if he shows up again, you really need to carefully think, what is this crazy little guy up to this time around? So if the right opportunity would come, I wouldn't say no, obviously. But for now, I'm into other things, and that I'm very happy with, because that might have collided. I think they're shooting something right now, so the destiny and fate always, I strongly believe in that. It just, you just follow the path that you are offered to follow. I mean, right now I'm working with Ron Howard, who 10 years ago on one of the shooting days in Rush said, I would love to do a film about some guys in the Galapagos Islands in the 30s. It's such a thrill. I would love to do that with you. And I thought like, oh yeah, oh, that's so kind of you, Ron. Well, who knows? And then 10 years later, he called me in Paris, visited me. And at the end of the day, he said, do you remember that project that I pitched to you 10 years ago about the Galapagos? Well, I'm doing it. And why don't you read the script? And it's so beautiful because we're working here right now. And it feels like I've been on a racetrack with him yesterday. And so as they're shooting in I don't know where, the Marvel guys, they're shooting something right now.
Are you talking about Thunderbolts, maybe?
I think so.
How interesting that you know that they're shooting, because that's the one film everyone was expecting you to be in, because Baron is part of that team. Was there ever any talks about having you in Thunderbolts at all, or is this one of those things where like you can't tell me the spoiler, and then in 2 years from now we're going to see you in that movie anyway?
No. It's always a delicate subject matter. What can you say? What and what not? So it's such a complex universe, as you know, that I only understand maybe 1% of it. There's certain opportunities for you. There's certain constellations where you might, be part of more than in others. But it's all a big if and a question mark. So, but again, if that would have been one of the projects for Zemo, I wouldn't be shooting here in Australia with Ron Howard. So that's what I mean. It's like this is a real passion project to be working with one of my favorite directors, Ron Howard. So it was wonderful to be free and to say, yes, man. Oh, yes, I'm going to Australia. And I'm going to work here with Jude Law and with Ana de Armas and Sydney Sweeney and Vanessa Kirby and my friend Felix Camera and Toby Wallace on a project that I was dying to do for 10 years.
So I'm excited to see it. Do you know when it's coming out?
And Destiny brings Zemo back somewhere. Again, I would probably don't say no.
When is this movie with Ron Howard coming out? Do you know that?
I don't know. I mean, we are shooting until February of next year, and then you never know how long the editing process and how long that all takes. But yeah, no, really, I don't have a clue.
Well, I'm excited to see. I can see you're glowing just talking about it, so I can't wait to see it. But congrats on this.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
Well, congrats on this film, and looking forward to see what you're doing next. And happy holidays.
Likewise.
Thank you so much. You have a good one.